Like most of the Beehive, Jay-Z thinks his wife Beyoncé should have taken home the 2023 Grammy for Album of the Year. In an interview with Tidal conducted before the award ceremony, the rapper opens up about his wife's previous Album of the Year losses for 2008's I Am Sasha Fierce, 2013's Beyoncé, and 2016's Lemonade.
Since 2013, Beyoncé has released 3 studio albums that have been nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys. The first being her surprise release self-titled visual album. This album had a dark, sparse, electronic R&B sound, with many of its tracks having a unique structure and each song having its own music video. It was a big hit with fans and critics alike, not to mention the fact it changed the release date for albums from Tuesday to Friday. With all this in its favor, many thought it was a shoo-in for Album of the Year at the 2015 Grammys, only to lose to Beck's Morning Phase. In 2016, Beyoncé outdid herself with her next LP, Lemonade, a genre-bending concept album about how Beyoncé reconciled with her husband, rapper Jay-Z, after his infidelity. Like her self-titled album, this was also a surprise release visual album, but with a different twist. Instead of each song receiving its own music video, Beyoncé delivered the visuals for all the tracks in the form of an hour-long film that premiered on HBO. Both the film and the album were extremely well received, even being hailed as masterpieces. And though Beyoncé faced stiff competition against Adele's juggernaut album 25, many thought she had a great chance of finally nabbing Album of the Year at the 2017 Grammys due to her album having higher critical praise than Adele's and due to the way Lemonade had captured the cultural zeitgeist, only for Beyoncé to lose again to the aforementioned Adele amid much public outrage. Beyoncé and Adele faced off again at the 2023 Grammys, but many thought Beyoncé had it in the bag this time as she had released another well-received album, this time the dance-heavy, black queer-inspired Renaissance, while Adele's 30 had lackluster commercial success compared to her previous 2 diamond-selling albums. Adele's 30 failed to take home Album of the Year at the 2023 Grammys, but so did Beyoncé's Renaissance. It was actually Dark Horse Harry Styles who took home the top prize for his album Harry's House. Many have said the reason why Beyoncé keeps losing Album of the Year at the Grammys, despite constantly putting out stellar work, is because she's a black woman making black music. And while I agree racism and sexism are part of the reason why Beyoncé keeps losing, they're far from the only reason. I think there's actually several issues that keep B from taking home Album of the Year at the Grammys, and let's go down the list together. To win the main Grammy, an album usually has to have sales so gargantuan it can't be denied. Gargantuan. I love that word, but I still really have the opportunity to use it in a sentence. Shout out to all my Kill Bill fans. Anyway, back to the script. To win the main Grammy, an album usually has to have sales so gargantuan it can't be denied or believed to have high quality by the Grammy voters, or a combination of the two. Now, sales-wise, Beyoncé isn't terrible, but she's not spectacular either. Her album sales are about average to slightly above to what normally good artists sell. She's never had like the best-selling album of the year, not even close, not even when she was with Destiny's Child, back when album sales were actually good. Now let's compare B sales to that of Adele, who's releasing back-to-back diamond-selling albums when most artists, including Beyoncé herself, was selling only about a tenth of that. Also, B has never had a diamond-selling album in her entire career, not even when she was with Destiny's Child, again, back when album sales were actually still good. And we've also got Taylor Swift, who's got blockbuster sales like Adele, and like Adele, she's also a multiple Grammy Album of the Year winner. Now that we covered sales, let's move on to quality. Now this area is more subjective as everyone's tastes are different, but B's music has several strikes against it. The first being is that her songs are very sexual and riddled with profanity, which may turn off a lot of Grammy voters. The second reason is her songs also contain lyrics with black slang, which may both turn off Grammy voters as well as confuse them. I mean, I'm still laughing my ass off of all the white people trying to decipher the lyrics to Formation. And the third reason, while B may dip her toes into other genres, her music is firmly black and proud, which again may turn off voters. Now, these last 2 reasons are where I feel where the racism comes in, but we still got some more to go down the list. The fourth reason I think that Beyoncé also has trouble getting an Album of the Year at the Grammys is because of all the songwriting controversy surrounding her career. Now, whether you're a B fan or not, you can't deny that she often has issues pop up regarding her songwriting. There's always something in the press about it. I mean, even with her most personal album, Lemonade, there were a ton of interviews where a lot of songwriters who worked on the album, where they were giving interviews about how they came up with a lot of the songs. And B's songwriting contributions consisted of combining various parts of songs other people had written into a brand new song while adding a bridge here and a melody there. Beyonce has also gotten a lot of flack for her songwriting credits. Like A-list songwriter Diane Warren was on Twitter wondering how you can have 24 songwriters for just one song. Now, since Diane Warren's the A-list songwriter who's been in the industry for a long time, she's probably a Grammy voter. And if this is irking her, it stands to reason that it irks other Grammy voters as well. And may have caused Beyonce's chances of winning Album of the Year to go poof. And before anyone says, yes, I'm well aware that a lot of those songwriting credits on Beyonce's albums are for sampling and not for actually writing her song. But still, that's going to rub people the wrong way when they see like a laundry list of songwriters, even because they may not know it's just sample credits or what have you. And they might not care when they see that list. That just might immediately turn her off. No, I'm not voting for her because she's not a real artist. Lastly, some people just aren't a fan of Beyonce or her music, or if they are a fan of Beyonce's, it might just be as a performer. I myself kind of fall into that last category. If it weren't for her performances, I might not be a B fan. And what I mean by that is, it often takes a live performance from Beyonce to get me into her music. For example, the Beyonce song 1+1. It's one of my least favorites from her album 4, but it's one of my favorite songs to hear Beyonce do it live because the way she changes it up. When she does it live, she changes up the arrangement a little bit. She has extra belts and staccatos, baby, 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 like that, and a lot of high notes, and it makes it sound like a female Purple Rain. Like she really went to Prince on it. She Princed it up, or as I Turn might say, she put some Prince on it. And I'll even play like the live version from her Formation tour so you can hear what I'm saying. Yeah, now you see, like what I was saying before about all the extra stuff she adds to it, the album version does not have any of that, and it just comes off as flat and lackluster compared to the live version of 1+1. A lot of Beyonce's music falls like that for me, where it comes off flat and lackluster compared to the live versions. The only B album I don't feel that way about is her self-titled album. It's like, I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, the live versions don't transcend the album versions for me. I can't explain it. Also, while we're on the topic of B's music, as good as it isn't really that good. What I mean is, she hasn't made any classic music that will stand the test of time. Take Michael Jackson, for instance. People love to compare Beyonce to him, so come on, let's compare. His Off the Wall album is not only older than Beyonce's entire discography, it's also older than Beyonce herself, yet Off the Wall still goes hard as fuck. You could release that album today and it would eat the charts. Like, it would just be a monster hit because that's how good the music is. It's timeless. It's classic. Beyonce does not have an album like that, not even the much ballyhooed Lemonade. Now, her sister Solange does, though, to a point like I was shocked that so many people thought Beyonce had truly released the album of the year with Lemonade. Because Solange had released her magnum opus, A Seat at the Table, that same year, and to me, it was just so much better. It may not, A Seat at the Table may not enter the cultural zeitgeist the same way as Lemonade or sold as much, but it's an album that will stand the test of time, in my opinion, and become a classic. And I also wonder if the reason why it didn't enter the cultural zeitgeist or sold as much as Lemonade is because of a different name because the name on there. Like if Beyonce's name was on a seat at the table, I wonder how it would have been received by the public and how much it would have been sold. I mean, something tells me that the public response to it and how well it did at the award shows and stuff like that would have been very different had it been Beyonce's name on the album instead of Solange's. But that's just me speculating. And finally, none of this shit even really matters. Not when you reach Beyonce's level. No awards, not even the Grammys matter. Beyonce isn't a newer indie artist who needs the attention and recognition that a Grammy can bring. I mean, honestly, she's probably bigger than the Grammys at this point. If she were to like have like a surprise performance or whatever, or schedule a performance right around the time the Grammys were to air, I'd bet my life on the fact that she would get higher ratings than the Grammys. And just like the awards shouldn't matter to Beyonce or her career, they really shouldn't matter to the fans either. Winning one won't make you enjoy an artist's music anymore, then not winning one will make you enjoy an artist's music any less. Like, I don't understand why fans go on about it. It's the same way like when fans go on about who has the bigger touring numbers. That's going on a lot right now with The Weeknd and Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Fans debating on social media about who has the better tour numbers. Like, why do you care? You're not going to see the money. It's going to the artist and their crew and stuff like that. Unless you're part of their crew or the artist, you're not getting that money. Why do you care for bragging rights to say your artist has the better stats? No, just come on. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the music. Like what music you like. Fuck the touring numbers. Fuck the awards. Just focus on the music. That's all that matters. I'm Kahoko, and this has been my PC Pop Culture Musings. Look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Take care.